Namaste, angels. I'm actually recording this video. Normally I do it ahead of time. I'm actually recording this video on my birthday, June 13th, the day of the new moon, which occurred this afternoon at 3:43 p.m., 22 degrees, Gemini 44. Also, what happened today was Venus, one of my rulers as a Gemini, entered Leo, my rising sign. And that's going to bring us some really, really awesome energy. Also, what happened at the end of May, the day of the full moon in Sagittarius, my other ruler, the main one, Mercury, had entered Gemini, and that started up a whole bunch of stuff. And then it moved out just yesterday and went into Cancer. So many awesome things going on in addition to this new moon, which I think is going to be really, really awesome. I spoke about in the general, I think it may be in the love reading too, how I felt that it was going to be all about new thoughts, new ideas, new communication, and new ways to approach all of those and apply them to our lives. And then when it comes to the other transits that are happening, it'll be how to apply them to our love lives, like how to come up with new ways to communicate our feelings and things when we're feeling super, super passionate during Venus in Leo, for example. How do we express ourselves? The new moon in Gemini is going to help us to do that and to be able to think, conceive of new ways. How can I be honest about my feelings and truthful about, who and what I am and what my needs are? Because Gemini and air signs in general are about communication, thought, and truth and logic. And so it's going to be all of those things, but new ways to do all of the above. And then again, like I said, the Venus in Leo, I read at length about what that is, but basically it is Venus being warmed up, right? She's chasing after her passions, and it's with all the force, all the force and strength, right, and drive of a lion. She's in hot pursuit, and she's, out front and out there about how she feels, about whomever and whatever. But at the same time, again, we have Mercury, which would normally be, maybe a stick in the butt, right? Mercury, controller of communication and electronics. All these things that are pretty like static. And it's getting, Mercury is showing like some tenderness, emotion, love, because it's in Cancer. So we have that going on. We also have the Hebrew month of Sivan coming to an end on the 14th, and the month of Tammuz starting. So Sivan was all about being, in love with God, and God being in love with his children. And so much so that he gave them the words to the Torah, through Moses. And so that's what's celebrated during the month of Sivan. And similarly, God again, in love with his children, from a different region, gave them the Quran this same month. So it's also been Ramadan. Ramadan also comes to an end. We begin Eid instead, which is the celebration, the breaking of the fast. The fast is over. We party now with Eid. When Tammuz starts, it's a complete shift, because we go from being in love and giddy and, getting treated and spoiled by our father, and, and showing him love and jumping on his lap and we can't leave him alone, to mourning, because the month of Tammuz is the month during which the temples were destroyed in Jerusalem. several years apart, but during the month of Tammuz, both times. So that's what we got. Other than that, I think it's going to be a really, really awesome time. There's other stuff happening during this 2-week period. Something's going retrograde. I actually wrote a couple things down for a change, so I didn't forget. Oh, there's this Uranus semi-square Neptune on June 16th. So I talked about that. That one wasn't as fun. I talked about that in the general reading. It wasn't as fun as Venus in Leo or Mercury in Cancer. So, but we got to deal with it. It's coming. June 16th, 5:41 a.m. June 18th, 9:40 a.m. Saturn quincux the true node. June 18th again, 7:27 p.m. Neptune goes retrograde. And June 21st, at 6:07 a.m., the sun enters Cancer. June 22nd, the sign of Cancer will officially begin. June 21st is also the day of the summer solstice. It's the last day of Gemini. My cousin's birthday is June 21st. She just wished me a happy birthday a little while ago. June 26th also falls within this period. At 5:04 p.m., Mars goes retrograde in Aquarius. Also June 26, 8:41 p.m., Pluto quintile Chiron. And that'll take us all the way up to the next moon event, June 28th at 12:53 a.m., the full moon, 6 degrees Capricorn 28. So, knowing all that and keeping all that in mind, let's get started. I'm going to the dice, beginning with 29. Romantic dinner and email. Email, which can definitely be connected to Mars, which again goes retrograde in Aquarius, but it's currently already in Aquarius. Mars, the planet of action and aggression, and the masculine planet of love. In Aquarius, the freedom seeker, it's another communication sign. It's ruler of technology. So that's why I always equate the email and stuff and online dating and all those things to Aquarius. Spirit says no. So if you had like a yes or no question that you were pondering at that moment, or when you began to watch the reading, the answer is no. Or the recommendation is no. Also stay in bed. And cocktail. Maybe like mimosas or Bloody Mary or something in bed. I'm going to do the first spread from the perspective of the universe using my animal tarot, beginning with the Magician, which does represent the sign of Gemini for me. So it's appropriate for this Gemini new moon reading. It also can be attached for me to the other mutable signs, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo. There is magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. So the Magician is Major Arcana card number 1. I just talked about how air signs and Gemini in particular connected to thoughts, words that we speak over ourselves, and that it is how we manifest. Magician, all about manifestation. Opening to the Two of Winter, procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. So the Two of Winter, we're staying in this element that is Gemini and the other air signs. Winter, air, swords. It's a card of non-action, however. So I just talked about how Mercury was in Aquarius, Mercury, the planet of action, for example, and the Two of Winter is a card of non-action. But sometimes that's good. The Major Arcana card 2, which I also connect to the sign of Gemini, the High Priestess, is also about, maybe there's a need to make some sort of decision, but we're not taking action yet, because she's one that doesn't reveal her cards. They say play your cards close to your chest. So this can be that sort of energy too, like I'm holding off because I want to see something. You know what I would say? I'm trying to see something. That could be like with the Two of Aries too. And opening to the Eight of Spring. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. Eight of Spring is about communication. It's also about movement, period. The Wands cards, all of them, they're about movement. But this is like movement behind the scenes and things happening, often for me, particularly with your love life, because like in the traditional tarot, it just looks like Cupid's arrows, and also the Angel Tarot. And in the Angel Tarot, the wands are actually shaped kind of like arrows. This is like Cupid's arrows being hurled at someone, for me. So something's going on behind the scenes. Maybe we don't yet have all the information. Maybe we do, and we're afraid to move, whatever the case is, either way. So we have yet to make a decision about this. It could also be a need to make a decision about communicating, whether to initiate communication, whether to accept communication. Two of Winter. And opening to the Ace of Winter. Implementation of your brilliant new idea. I just talked about how I felt the new moon was going to be all about new ideas, new thoughts, new communication, new means of doing such in, any of those cases. Your brilliant idea, it may not, it may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. So yes, the Ace of Winter can be about a difficult beginning, or a beginning that was difficult in getting to. Like, it took a long time, it was a rough road. It was hard climbing here, but we're here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. It can be that. It can be the beginning has started and we're still experiencing roughness. Like, I just got a new house, but I'm having this trouble. I just got a new business, but things aren't going quite as I, had decided they were going to go. And I'm having some difficulty. But you got the new business. You got the new house. It's that sort of thing. New relationship, or we're still bumping heads. Okay, but you committed to each other. So that's what you got to look at, the positive aspect and the fact that it is a beginning nonetheless. Ace of Winter, also a card of victory and truth. The Ace of Winter, or Swords, cuts through to the truth of the matter with, no bullshit. Just, this is what it is. So we can be receiving such truth. We could be, doling it out. Both. Maybe we're deciding whether or not to. Do I say something? Do I not say something? Ace of Winter, also a card of victory, triumph, winning. Two of Winter. And the Ten of Summer, it's time to express your love. I just said, do I say something? Do I not say something? The Ten of Summer says you do. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or a chosen family of close friends. Congratulations also may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage for someone, as well as raising happy and balanced children. The Ten of Summer can also be about getting together with friends, with family, or with friend. Or with family. It can be one person. It can be your partner. It can be whatever. It's joy. It's being surrounded by joy and people that bring you joy, and people to whom you bring joy. Maybe you're deciding, do I express it? Yes. Do I go ahead and go out with so-and-so? Yes. Do I invite them over, or to my party? Yes. Two of Winter. I knocked something down that was sticking up. Anyway, speak of the angel. The High Priestess. This is a time to pause and to reflect, not to take action. This is what I was talking about. Trust in your spiritual gifts, as nothing is hidden from your divine intervention. The High Priestess. So now we got some 2-on-2 action, or 11-11, which again today is the new moon in Gemini. 22 degrees Gemini, or 11-11, major arcana, master number 22. This High Priestess, again, could be deciding how much to reveal about what she knows, or what action to take or not take based on what she knows. High Priestess can also be a water sign. And for me, particularly in this deck with the owl and stuff, if I was going to say she was a water sign, I'd say she was a Cancer. And it can also be a representation of, what did I just say happened today? Mercury, or this week, Mercury in Cancer yesterday, June 12th. Mercury entered Cancer. So Mercury is a ruler of Gemini. So if I say the high priestess represents Gemini, as far as I'm concerned, Mercury is its ruler. Mercury just entered Cancer. There's a big owl on the front of the card. Owls, of course, connected to Lilith and her predecessor, Lilith too, the ancient, Sumerian, Egyptian goddess of, well, she was an evil goddess, whatever. She's Lilith. She's Lilith, So you guys know what that means. In any case, she's the owl-footed goddess. If you look her up, she's got her feet look like, like an owl's. And she's like usually surrounded by little baby owls. In any case, owls otherwise are about wisdom. That's why I was explaining why I connected them to Cancer. But owls otherwise are about wisdom. So it's, again, getting back to this high priestess type of person that is wise, has information, but is also wise enough to use it strategically. That's what I'm trying to get to. And opening to Unity, which is the high priest or the Hierophant, and represents the sign of Taurus. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. The Hierophant can absolutely be about with whom, what, where we surround ourselves. It's time to make adjustments and maybe cut through some bullshit, maybe cut some people off with that sword. Because we don't vibe with those people anymore. We literally don't vibe with those people anymore. So we got to surround ourselves with people, places, and things of our vibration or better, from whom we can learn something. So that's the mentor, that's the teacher that you're seeking out. It doesn't have to be an actual teacher, although it can be. The Hierophant can absolutely be about, going to school, higher institutions, college, a vocation, all of those things as well. After I cut, coming to the 10 of Winter, the end of a career path, project, or relationship. This can represent the difficulties that, preceded the ace, right? The 10, and then next is 11. Ace is 11 or 1. The end of a career path, project, or relationships. That brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. And the overall energy is the Hierophant yet again after all my shuffling, but I also have the sun sticking up. So that has meaning. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. The sun in the tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. However, the sun in the sky, Earth's star, the sun, rules the sign of Leo. Again, where Venus, ruler of Taurus, in addition to Gemini and Libra, just entered Leo. Again, embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. The Hierophant. Divine couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to the union. The feminine can do. The masculine can do. Further advice from the universe. And the outcome. Divine couple. The 8 of Spring, there's movement in your relationships. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. There's going to be communication. There's movement. You may have to come to some decisions and to come try to arrange some compromises because you feel you got so many things, like nothing was happening. There was no movement. You were complaining. And then it's like, be careful what you wish for, because now all of a sudden there's all kinds of movement and you may have to make some decisions too. Recent past. This is what got it started. This is what I was talking about. Remember I said there was movement with the full moon in Sagittarius. That's why I wanted to mention what Mercury was doing at that time. Also, Mars can also be the ace of spring, the planet of action. Is our recent past. He had entered Aquarius, and soon again he's going retrograde during the period of this reading. This can also be Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius. Okay, recent past, the ace of spring ignited something. A wonderful new opportunity presents itself. It may have come as a surprise, but you'll still want to leap into action and to passionately pursue every possibility. Okay, that's what made this possible. The near future. The Hermit. Take time for contemplation. This is Major Arcana card number 9, the Hermit. To retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment. The Hermit is about enlightenment. So the near future, this is what we can expect. Enlightenment. But I also said new thoughts, new ideas, new communications, new thoughts, new revelations. Enlightenment is what's coming in the near future. The Hermit represents the sign of Virgo also. And that may be important. Mercury, also ruler of Virgo, not just Gemini, by the way. Masculine's higher self. This Two of Winter. So it's him, for the most part, for whom this card kept turning up in the beginning. Procrastination and worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance, masculine. Blocks to the union. Failure to let go of the past. Major Arcana card number 13. Today's the 13th. Release or death represents the sign of Scorpio, by the way, where Jupiter is retrograde, which is ruled by Mars, in part at least. It's time to release the past and to move on to something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. So we've been holding on to something that we really, really need to let go. And that can just be ourselves. It can be a situation, a circumstance, old energy, negative emotion, cords. But it can just be ourselves, like we're trying to keep ourselves in an old space, afraid to move forward, afraid of change, afraid of transitioning, into something else, morphing into that butterfly from the caterpillar. Whatever it is, this is preventing us from receiving the blessings with regard to our relationships that we're wanting to receive. It's blocks to the union. What can the feminine do to help all the situation? Justice. Major Arcana card number 8. So those of you who watch with any kind of regularity know I've been talking about 8 all month, and that I had a little revelation of my own, that the month of June this year was an 8. 6 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8. 6 2018 equals 8. And it's going to be all about justice and karma and abundance. That was my prediction. And it has come true so far. Justice, of course, represents the sign of Libra, fellow air sign Libra. Fair and just decisions will be made after all the evidence is reviewed impartially. Have compassion for others and try to see all the sides of a disagreement, feminine. That's what we can do. Justice and the sign of Libra, of course, represents the planet Venus. Venus rules Libra. What can the masculine do here? 3 of Summer. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. Okay, those are some of the possibilities. This is also connected to reconciliation for me, and I'm feeling it now. And it can be with the feminine. It doesn't have to be only her, though. This can be getting back together with friends and stuff, too. Also sitting here under release or death, what you may need to release might have something to do with a party of 3. Maybe you need to release one of these people that's here and bring it down to a 2. This can also have to do with the masculine's need to be more social and to, get out there, interact, have some fun, connect with loved ones. further advice from the universe for the 2, Princess of Summer, which for me is a Pisces, but can also be a Cancer, a Scorpio, or anyone likened to these traits or attributes. Princess of Summer is the Page of Summer. It's also about an offer of love. So you can be the one making an offer of love or the recipient. Again, sitting here next to the 2 of Winter, it could be that same question coming up when that we saw when the 2 of Winter was opposite the 10 of Summer. Oh, excuse me. And is it time for me to express myself? Yes, Or is it time for me to be open to receiving communication? Right, we're crossing this energy of communication with the 8 of Spring. We have an 8 and an 8 here too, by the way. Is it time for me to be open to receiving communication? Yes. Accepting offers of love, making offers of love, expressing yourself. This can absolutely be, representing here side by side the Mercury in Cancer. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. The Princess of Summer is sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. Outcome. Ooh. It is ego or the devil. Well, for one thing, I just got that this energy and all these happenings are what bring us to and sort of culminate in the full moon in Capricorn, for one thing. So again, that's when this 2-week period is up, this is exactly what happens. Ego or the devil represents the sign of Capricorn. You may feel that you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking. So there's also some to whom that message applies above the fact, in addition to the fact that this is representing the full moon in Capricorn and that time period that we're going into. So we're taking this energy into this time period. For some, it really does have to say, like, in the meantime, break free of these chains that hold you back. Release them, let them go, cut them off. This is the 2-week period to do that. And again, it can easily be connected to people that are surrounding you. Do you need to cut somebody off? That masculine, again, the 3 of water. Do you need to cut one of them off or cut a couple of them off, bring it down to a 2, bring it down to a 1, get rid of the whole squad? That's connected to the energy of the Hierophant and of release and of the devil. Going to the Angel Tarot, beginning with the King of Air, which can be Mercury, it can be Venus, it can be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or anyone, likened to those traits or attributes. The King of Air is brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. Opening 2, again, the 10 of water. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met and you have trustworthy relationships. King of Air. And the 4 of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money. It can be love and emotion too. Good business decisions are also a possibility, and maybe giving to the less fortunate. King of Air. And the 6 of Air, things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. So I think that's our 3rd confirmation of that fact. You may even be taking a trip. This is another card of movement. Positive movement forward. It can be actual travel. You may be taking a trip, maybe to visit a loved one, or a loved one is going to come and visit you, or maybe going off to school or something to learn a new vocation. Opening to life experience with Archangel Chamuel, which represents the sign of Scorpio for me. It's the Tower in the traditional tarot. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. New thought. A powerful revelation. New thought. Gemini new moon. So you're going to come into some enlightenment. Again. King of Air. And the King of Earth, generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. King of Earth can also be connected to Mercury, because again, Mercury rules Virgo. King of Earth can also be a Capricorn or a Taurus or anyone likened to those traits or attributes. And if it's a Taurus, it may be connected to Venus. Venus also very active right now. Venus rules Taurus. Oh, showing us the King of Air yet again. I'm going to mix him in there. And it's the Two of Earth. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. You guys are not going to believe this. Guess what? Guess what the overall energy is? It's the Two of Air. Yet again, this energy of indecision, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. That's the overall energy. Crowning the masculine, it's another Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. This is a brand new start. It's a start. It can be a relationship. It can be a job. It can be anything. But whatever it is or whomever it is, it's something about which or whom you are extremely passionate. And you are surrounded by balance with Archangel Zadkiel, which is healing energy from the universe. The balance is temperance in the traditional tarot. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. So this balance, which is Major Arcana card 14 equals 5. 5 is about change. They can be about change. The need to, do something different. Temperance, again, represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot, but for me, can also represent the sign of Aquarius. This is an angel. He's holding 2 vessels. He's pouring water back and forth. He's standing in a pool of water. He is a water bearer. Mars, your ruling planet as the masculine archetype, right? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Is currently located in Aquarius. So I think that that's what this is. He is sending you healing energy and strengthening you, enabling you to take the action that you need to take. Restoring you to your full glory and health so that you can do what you got to do. Again, wands are cards of movement. He wants you to get moving on something. He's going to help you to do that. In the masculine subconscious, because you're afraid. You need a push. You need Mars to come by and say, get out there, be a leader. Like, I built you to be. In your mind here, your subconscious, you're paranoid. You're nervous. You lack confidence. You're afraid. Your ego's getting the best of you. An illusion of being trapped. A lack of self-confidence and being afraid to take action. So Mars has to shove you out the door. That's what this is. Crowning the feminine, it's the 10 of Fire. Too much work. Accept help from others. Life is out of balance. That leads to stress-related health concerns. This is about the need to, put down your wands, put down your burdens, lay them down, or share them with somebody else, 50-50. Feminine surrounded by Major Arcana card 16, life experience, or the Tower, again, which represents the sign of Scorpio for me. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. So now, in addition to being about Mars and Aquarius, this is also coming through as being about Jupiter retrograde in Scorpio. Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, retrograde in Scorpio. These 2 cards mirroring one another. And that is opening people's eyes up to different things too. At the feminine subconscious, it's the 9 of Air. So we're not doing much better here with our energy. We're, thinking of negativity and potentially manifesting it into our lives. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. Now, on the positive side, particularly in this position, it is absolutely in our head. It is in our minds. It's not real. So release it. If this is you who is feeling like this, who is staying up all night, who is letting illusions and falsehoods get the best of you, let them go. Release them. Death to them. Remember, that was the block to the union. These things that we're holding on to. Negative emotions, negative cords of attachment, fear, ego. These are blocks to union. Crowning. The Chariot with Archangel Metatron, which represents the sign of Cancer. It's also about travel, movement. It can be actually about moving, like, from one place to another, a new home, a new job, all those kind of things. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. This is a card of victory as well. We have 2 sevens crossing, by the way. So the last spread, we had 2 8s, one atop the other. Now we have 2 sevens. This Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, and Major Arcana card 16 equals 7, the Tower. At the root, the 4 of Fire, 4 of Wands, 11, 11, or 22, however you want to look at it, or 13. Contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, and the successful completion of a project. It can be all those things. It can be about commitment, a new home. Again, maybe moving with the Chariot crowning and the 4 of Fire at the root. It can be about marriage even. Whatever it is, however it applies in your life, whether it's a new home or a new relationship or just a new energy. You moved out of the funky one into, a more calming and peaceful one. That's what it is. It's joy. It's peace. It's contentment. At the heart of the matter, the Queen of Air, independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. She is a Gemini, perhaps. With this being the Gemini new moon reading. Or she is Venus, or she is Mercury in Cancer. She's Venus in Leo, or Mercury in Cancer. She can also be a Libra, an Aquarius, or anyone likened to these traits or attributes. Independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in a situation, because that's what she does. So again, it's cutting out stuff. It's laying down the burdens, getting them out of your life, whatever it is, cutting away people, places, and things that no longer serves you or humanity, the higher good. Moving on, cutting cords, cutting out ego and fear. She's independent. She keeps going. She doesn't need help, especially if she's a Gemini. The Gemini female is the Miss Independent of the zodiac. She is, doing away with this. Well, if you're not going to help me, then fine. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to, have a revelation, figure out what I got to do, and I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to shake off this kind of energy. I'm going to further clarify with the romance angels. Begin with very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And opening to stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance, new thoughts, new ideas, positive thinking. Stay optimistic about your love life. And religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. New ideas, new thoughts. We're getting rid of old patterns, old belief systems, old ideologies, shaking them off. New stuff. Stay optimistic about your love life. And playfulness, like a Gemini, young, youthful, silly. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. But also, they're trying to show me reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life, which I saw and felt when I picked up that 3 of water in the last spread. Stay optimistic about your love life. And trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Overall energy is codependency. So that same energy, that outcome that we ended up with for some, that energy of Capricorn, the devil, restriction, holding us back, limitation that we need to shake off before we get up to that full moon in Capricorn. Yeah, that's our overall energy here too. Codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. It can be attached to substance abuse, but it doesn't have to. You know, we say addictions, and that's often what people first think of. Oh, drugs, liquor, well, you know, alcohol. Well, I don't do any of those. I don't smoke. It doesn't have to be that. Any person, place, or thing upon which or whom you are codependent, or who, that is codependent upon you, that is the codependency. Atop the Ace of Fire, keep an open mind, okay, about this new start. Your soulmate may differ from usual type and expectations. Keep an open mind. Don't, you know, miss out on this opportunity. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be good. Change your life now. Doesn't matter if it's going to be different from what you're used to. Some people might like that. You know, Trey Songz had a song called Unusual, right? I'm going to show you something unusual, like not the same old thing. Atop Balance or Temperance, which is about healing, restoration, recovery, being made whole again, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. This is part of the healing. This is how you're going to be restored, by letting go of like the old emotions. Release death to those, and that's going to help you to become restored. Atop the Eight of Air, rather than convincing yourself that you're stuck and you can't move, go after your passions. Remember I said the Ace of Fire is going to be something about which you are extremely passionate. This is what you want, or who you want, or both. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy by pursuing your passions, taking action, and going after them. Feminine, atop the 10 of Fire, reconciliation, this hard time, this struggle, we were by ourselves. We had to do it all by ourselves because, you know, he or she wasn't there. They're going to come and join us and pick up half the burden. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Atop life experience, or the Tower, this revelation, you're going to learn today that if you think and speak positivity over your life, that is what you will experience. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Atop the 9 of Air, instead of, you know, this thinking, you know, you get out and spend some time with Mother Nature, and that's going to help you clear your mind. Do some meditation outside, you know, listen to your favorite genre of music, or some it can be guided meditation. It can be some sort of binaural tones. It can be just listening to the birds and listening to, you know, children laugh and play. Whatever is going to help you to clear your mind. That's what you need to replace this energy with. Okay, because when you let go of the fear, the negativity, and you can start to think positive, then you can begin this process and being optimistic about your love life. And that is how you can pull this energy in that you want, right? The reconciliation. Atop the Chariot, and moving on, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. For some, this is an actual ex. For others, this is that expression. This is what we need to say that we've been holding in, that's gone unsaid. Release your ex. This is also just you. It's you being you. It's your truth. And I explain what I always meant by X, like not EX, capital X, like Malcolm X, or like St. Andrew, right? St. Andrew, for those who don't know, he was a martyr. He was put to death. When he was going to be put to death, he was sentenced. He said, okay, they told me he was going to be crucified. Okay, crucify me. But I don't deserve to be on a cross like Jesus. Put me on an X. Like, he decided how he was going to die. You know, he even in death, he was making the choices to do it how he wanted to do it and be how he wanted to be. And that's what this is about for us. When it's releasing your capital X, when I read it that way. At the root, atop the 4 of Fire, the 4 of Wands. For some, this is marriage, engagement, commitment. Let your friends help you. Look at these people in wedding attire. This is a bride. These are her ladies in waiting. This is the flower girl. Ask for and accept support from others. So for some, this can be very, very literal. For others, this is just about support. And it can be 3D friends, or if you're like me, maybe they're, you know, your ancestors, the angels and saints, you know, whomever you like to call. And that helps you restore your peace and joy. Atop the Queen of Air is attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Which is what we're trying to do. Why we're staying optimistic, because this is enjoying the moment fully, being positive. That's how we're going to attract. Attraction, the card, is about the law of attraction. Same as this. And what are we trying to pull in? This, the reconciliation, the peace. What are we trying to pull in? This, the peace. What are we trying to pull in? Restoration, good health, wholeness. I'm going to further clarify with the Ascended Master cards, and I have been avoiding these. I got to be honest, avoiding these. I have not used these. I didn't want to see that white buffalo, because when anybody again who watches me with any kind of regularity, or is my friend on Facebook or any of these things, knows that when I pull the white buffalo, when I see a white buffalo, period, it means death. Well, sure enough, I was unable to avoid it. The other day, I'm scrolling through Guide with my remote, and I come across a movie, White Buffalo, and that was all I needed. Like, that was still, the death was still coming, surrounding the collective, and I can usually break it down. It's never off, it's never wrong. I see the white buffalo, people die, and I can often break it down exactly what gender, if it's going to be males, if it's going to be females, if it's going to be like younger or older cousins and uncles and nieces and nephews and all that kind of stuff. I can usually feel all of that. And so I just didn't want to. And as soon as I took out my other deck to, include her in this and celebrate her today, the first card I opened to was Proper Burial for Freedom. And I said, oh, here we go. So that I expect that energy to continue. But I'm beginning with energy healing to start, and opening to purification with white Tara. Energy healing and purification, of course, go hand in hand. It's about detox, right? Detox of your energy, of your being, of your, cipher. Opening to spiritual law of attraction. More of this. Spiritual law of attraction. And there we go. Peace offering, white buffalo calf woman. Now, this is not what the white buffalo calf woman represents. She does not represent death. Also, they have like what looks to be like she's a Native American figure, at least depicted on this card. Native Americans, at least the tribe from which I'm descended, believes that when you see the white buffalo, it's connected to the second coming of the Messiah. It's positive things, but when I see it, it's death. I'm not happy about that, but it's something I have to accept. At the same time, I don't want to say that I'm unhappy about it, because I appreciate all of my gifts, and they're all meant to help the collective. It just can get some sort of heavy sometimes. That's all. So I'm not complaining, but I'm just being honest that I had avoided it. Yet here it is. Peace offering, white buffalo calf woman. And opening to positive change. Peace offering. I'm going to cut. Whoop. Open your heart to love, says Jesus. And speak of the angel again, the seraph to be exact. It is Isis. Balance, career, and home life. This is can be connected to the energy of like the Two of Pentacles and that juggling. And you got to learn how to find time for yourself, find time for your relationships, find time for your work, like all of the above, and in a healthy way. It's about balance, okay? That white buffalo calf woman can peace offering can also be more literal. Peace offering as an additional meaning, and being the one to initiate, like the Page of Cups energy. maybe apologizing, even if you don't feel you were the one that was wrong or wrong first or whatever. Just to break the ice and to begin the forgiving and learning process. That can be the peace offering too. Keep an open mind, because you're bringing in your soulmate and you got to be positive about this new opportunity. And the Ace of Fire, which is all about this new opportunity about which we're extremely passionate, and can be the energy of Mars and the Emperor, which says be a leader, or Jupiter, the daddy of all planets, be a leader. Moses joins in to say, take charge of this situation, masculine. You are being moved, again, pushed to action, into this leadership role. Forgiving and learning. Wow. This is interesting. And balance or temperance is father, husband, brother, son, Osiris. And remember, we have Isis as the overall energy here. So now her husband joins us. This card says that there is a masculine energy in your life. It can be yourself. And I think for a bunch of you, it is yourself, right? You're being healed. You're being restored. There is a masculine energy with whom you need to heal a relationship. And that masculine energy can be you. You need to heal a relationship with you and get over these kind of feelings that are under here with this Eight of Swords. Again, the fear, the lack of confidence, lack of esteem, being afraid to take action that's connected to the fear, the ego, the pride, and all that kind of stuff that you need to put down. You got to work on healing that with you, forgiving yourself first and foremost, learning from the mistakes and the positive experiences too, the lessons and all of that, and then healing that relationship with yourself so you can go forward and have more positive relationships with others as well. Additionally, there can be a relationship with your husband, brother, son, father, or another masculine energy in your life with whom you need to heal as well. Atop that Eight of Swords and the passion is stay focused. Okay? Stay focused. Shake this off. This is an illusion. So don't get caught up in this. Instead, stay focused on your passions. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Like, keep your eyes on the prize, basically. A top reconciliation for the feminine in the Ten of Wands. Choose peace. What goes better with reconciliation than choose peace? This is accepting the apology. This is making the apology, even if we don't feel that we're supposed to be the one to initiate. Remember what's here. And that release your ex, that expression that I said was for some. For some, it has nothing to do with an actual ex, with an old boyfriend or girlfriend. It just has to do with you expressing yourself in a truthful way, being the real you. And dropping the pride and the ego and the false pretense on your side too. Just like I told the masculine. And that is how we're going to bring about reconciliation. Those who need it and seek it. Atop, stay optimistic about your love life. And the Tower. Focus upon your strengths. This is positivity again. Rather than the negative stuff about you that you feel is about you, that probably is an illusion too. Rather than that, focus upon your strengths. What is good? What is positive? What is the bright side? That's staying optimistic. That's what's going to bring about continued positivity in your life. And then again, reconciliation, peace, happiness. A top retreat. And the Nine of Air, this funky energy that we need to get rid of, perhaps by spending some time with Mother Nature. Lord Ganesha says yes. Like, whatever you got to do to get rid of that, yes, I'm going to help you too. Yes, I'm going to help you remove obstacles out of your life. One is this. It's your thoughts. Get rid of that. Atop, release your ex, and the Chariot. Listen. This is, again, what did I just say? For the most part, this is about expression, not about an ex at all. Part of that communication is going to involve listening. And it's here in the middle because it's not for either one of us, it's for both. Listen, actually hear one another out. It's true and new communication, not like how we used to be, where we used to just shout at each other and nobody heard and nobody felt, and I'm just talking for the sake of talking and you're pretending to listen, or we just want to hear ourselves or whatever it was. This is true listening, hearing the other out. Okay, it's a new way. Again, atop, let your friends help you in the Four of Wands. Right, says thought. This is another means of expression. Maybe let your friends help you to do that. Now, again, for some, this is writing your vows. This is writing a proposal. This is writing, something having to do with commitment. This can be writing a contract for your new home. It's all of these things. But for others, it's the means of communication again. And it's not a mistake that these two cards are of the same color scheme too. The listen and the write. Maybe I can't speak it, but you can hear what I'm saying through what I write down. That you can hear and feel that they're heartfelt words, all the same. If I write them down, it can be that as well. I'm also getting like poetry and things like that. Thought also is Mercury, or Mercury is thought, right? And so this is, again, connected to this Gemini moon as well. At the heart of the matter, atop the attraction and the Queen of Air. Priorities, says King Solomon. What's important to you? Stay focused on that. That's on what we're going to focus. Focus upon your strengths. Focus upon what's important to you. Choose peace. Listen. That's part of the focus. Listening. I'm focused on what you're saying. I'm focused on you. You're my priority. I'm really listening. Take charge of the situation. What's most important to you? Don't let it fall by the wayside. Take charge of the situation. You got a relationship to heal. You got to work something out with yourself, your father, your husband, your brother, your son. Make that your priority so that you can get moving on other parts of your life. Okay, that's what all this is about. Lastly, from Mother, beginning with proper burial for freedom, sacrifice to Osiris, Lord of the Dead, which is like the death card. And of course represents the sign of Scorpio from the Scorpion King himself. But also is a card that means actual death surrounding the collective. Not like the actual collective, surrounding the collective. So like your like friends of the family and things of that nature. Cousins. Opening to Ancient Power Mysteries. Hear the rattle of Isis playing. Ancient Power Mysteries. And Soul Retrieval. Deep soul healing with the goddess. Stay true and be in your power. Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of divine authority. So this is release your ex again. Being truthful, keeping it real, 100. Expressing your true self, divine authority. And, well, on that note, proper burial for freedom, sacrifice to Osiris, Lord of the Dead. I have gone full circle, so I'm going to cut. Stay true and be in your power. But again, it's also like the energy of the death card and of Scorpio and the need to release old situations, circumstances, energy, relationships to allow for the birth of new ones, which is also very fitting for a new moon. I've come to the energy of truths unveiled, the revelation of Isis, which again is also very Gemini, very air sign, ace of winter. I'm happy about this. I started with proper burial for freedom and the energy of death. And I'm, now the overall energy is one of birth. Rising sun, divine solar child reborn. So I think this is beautiful. This very much the energy of, the Leo because of the rising sun, but also Virgo. And you see Isis here. They have her green, and it's very earth energy. The baby Horus as well is green. So it's very much earth. But I always connect the sun, S-O-N's vibration with the energy of Virgo. Further advice for you, masculine. The 7 of summer. So you have a decision to make still, and it's time to stop procrastinating and to actually make it. Remember, this was the energy of your higher self was the 2 of swords. So that energy of indecision and the indication that you needed to make one. All right. If you need to do more research, do so. But don't overthink the situation. Just listen to your heart. So similar to what the 2 of swords said to do. Don't do what other people want you to do or what have you do. Do what you want to do for you. This is releasing your ex. Feminine, for us, it's the moon, which never fails to show up in my moon reading. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. So not only did I already see the sun in this reading, which would indicate what's done in the dark will come to light, but also, we talked about how the moon represents illusions and falsehoods. And so we're going to fight through that and instead just seek the truth and stay in our truth and, know what's real and what's not. The moon represents the planet Neptune in the sign of Pisces for me, as does the 7 of summer. Although it's not a court card or major arcana, it represents the planet Neptune in the sign of Pisces for me because it's that confusing energy. It can be, or the energy of fantasy and dreams, which is also very, Piscean, Neptunian. From the angel tarot to the masculine, it's more fire. It's more Mars, Jupiter pushing you through. The Knight of Fire is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. He's also a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. For the feminine, the 3 of Fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. The 3 of Fire is the predecessor to the 4. It's like our stakes are in the ground and we're about to have this like victory and this peace, and we just got to be a little bit more patient because it's on its way. Very nice. More moon from the romance angels. It is honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This can be coming up during this period. Again, it's part of the reconciliation. And we're going to, be back in love or finding new love, but it could be reconciliation with somebody with whom we already had an established relationship. And we're going to be back in that brand new honeymoon phase, even if we did something before. We had a relationship before because now, again, it's new. We never did it this way before. The old way is dead. The old me is dead. The old you is dead. So it's all new. This is also the energy of the 6 of air, 6 of swords, which we also saw for me. From the romance angels to the feminine. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. That's why you got to dismiss the illusions and the fake and make sure that you keep your head, right? And let go of like 9 of air energy. And from the Isis oracle to the masculine, past life, present power. The many spiritual faces of you. So I talked about who you are. I skipped over the ascended masters. Let me do that for the masculine. Drink more water, says Oshun. And I actually connect this to the energy of ascension. And I felt ascension for you guys the other day too. And I even heard a song that tends to mean ascension for me. Bobby Smurda, Hot Niggas. And don't ask me why at this point, but it does. And when I said, oh, but the masculine's about to go through an ascension. From the feminine, artistic expression, writing, listening, communication. Okay, be the vehicle or the recipient. And our card from the goddess Isis is Temple of Carnelian, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. Well, if this isn't the energy of Venus in Leo, I don't know what is. Okay, right here's essentially Venus, Isis, and here's Sekhmet, or Leo, the lion, daughter of Ra, another Leo. All right, so I'll read the masculine's card first. Past life, present power. When the soul is growing in service to humanity, in service to the great feminine, and her call that all beings be healed. Right, you've got this energy of temperance and healing right here, and also of father, brother, husband, son. It's about healing too. So you're definitely being called to be healed. All beings, she wants to be healed and free. It gathers internal resources to assist on the path. These resources include powers and gifts from other lifetimes. You are currently integrating past life abilities, and you are guided by the oracle of past life present power to be open to shifting internally and your experience of your own levels of power and spiritual ability. Talents, abilities, and powers wish to be restored to you. What I say this was about, the temperance, the restoral. Your powers wish to be restored to you now from past incarnations. This will help you on your path. You will often be able to recognize this because you'll feel some instant fascination or deep interest for a culture, philosophy, heritage, or even a place on earth or beyond, which is deeply compelling. This is your intuitive recognition of that part of your soul that's connected with this passionate interest. And is being drawn into integration. At such times, there can be emotions, feelings, and even phobias and fears that temporarily arise. You may even find your taste for food and clothing and your sleep or other habits quickly change, and noticeably for a time. These can all be signs that a past life energy is being integrated. Once it has digested or is digested into your current incarnation, you will feel more like yourself again, but in an expanded and more whole way. What I say the Jupiter was, the planet of expansion and growth and karma. You will feel like you are more yourself, more stable, more full, and more at home in your own being. It is a lovely state of being to enjoy, which makes any ups and downs in the integration process more bearable. This oracle brings specific guidance that some of these past gifts from other incarnations are associated with ancient Egypt and civilizations connected with ancient Egypt, earthly and beyond, including some star civilizations such as Sirius and the Pleiades. Look for the symbols, books, crystals, and colors that interest you. That's right. I meant to mention where exactly the new moon was going to lie. And it was in part in Taurus the bull, which is the Pleiades, basically. Where was the other part? Was it Sagittarius? I don't remember. And that's not something I wrote down. But that may be why the high priest or the Hierophant showed up here too, representing the sign of Taurus. Now that I'm reminded. Look for the symbols, books, crystals, or colors that interest you, and pay attention to your dreams. If it's helpful to be conscious of any issues around the past life skills returning to you now, you will become aware of them so that they can be acknowledged, accepted, and released. Often when integration is occurring, people who have been connected to you in such lifetimes become more prominent part of your current life. It's possible that they will remain thus, or that as the integration happens, you continue to grow. Some of these relationships will fall away. That also is connected to, again, the energy of the Hierophant and, making adjustments in our life. And also the Queen of Swords, who cuts people off. As you've completed the karmic healing and integration of these energies associated with the past life, distilled the golden gift, and you are ready to move on. This may take weeks, months, or in some cases years. The ritual below, we're not going to get into the ritual, but this is about a soul awakening for you, basically, masculine, into your past, from things from your past life. For example, for me, tarot, I never studied tarot a day in my life. Now, some of you may know that I am a certified angel card reader, but I became that after I instantly knew the tarot. Complete, clear cognizance, I knew the tarot. And again, after that had occurred, one day I said, you know what, I might as well do this angel card certification. Like, I did it because I could. And you have to do like homework and stuff. And the homework that I would send in, rather than just the assignments that they had given to us, from Doreen Virtue, I would send in my videos, send her links to my videos. Here, my homework's done. Same thing with what I know about numerology and a lot of the Bible. I mean, I studied a lot of it without studying it because it was part of my life as a Christian. Same thing with the Torah. I, studied it without studying because it was part of my life as the goddaughter of a Jewish woman, who attended temple and was surrounded by Jewish people a lot of my life. I studied the Quran, but not really. It was part of my life as a Muslim woman or the wife of a Muslim, for as long as we did that. Or the wife of the grandson of the owner of Mosque Number 1. That's where the Torah the Quran rather came into my life. So, but other parts that I, maybe didn't recall, like all came flooding back. And you guys, again, they watch me with any kind of regularity. You'll hear me just spout out and recite the Bible, the Torah, verses and things, the Quran. Or I'll tell you stories, or I'll remember some trivia or something from one of these books. I never, did a research on these things. That it's from my past life. So some of you will experience similar in whatever, you're meant to do, or with whom you're meant to work or reconcile or meet again, revisit. All of these things can be things that come back to you. All right, let's do the feminine temple of carnelian. Here's some carnelian right here. It's one of Isis's favorite stones. This is also carnelian. It's darker. I've got carnelian around my arm, carnelian around my ankles. This is also carnelian, but it's blood of Isis because it's specifically gem quality carnelian that's found only in the Red Sea. So carnelian from anywhere else that's not gem quality is not blood of Isis. So it's definitely one of her favorites. Carnelian and obsidian, I would say, were her favorites, period. Anyway, let's get into the temple of carnelian for the feminine. Temple of carnelian, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. You have such strength within you. It's time to trust in your own boldness and courage, taking risks that feel true to your heart. Release your ex. And engaging in practices that make you feel truly and genuinely alive, embodied, and more of yourself, even if not always comfortable. Are you going to help? These things are going to help you to live the life that you were born to live, your true self, your true life. In the fierce belly of Sekhmet, the lion-headed sister of Isis, the Egyptian goddess of passion. Oh, that's not it. Courage and fire, because she's a Leo, again, she's a fire sign, there is no room for procrastination, self-doubt, or turning back. She urges you on your high destiny, calling to you to believe, keep going, reach higher, and expand wider. You can do so knowing that the temple of carnelian will bring you warm strength, encouragement, and deep trust in your own body, wisdom, to guide you through any situation or relationship that may arise to test you so that you can grow into more of your magnificent being. Now, they just clued you in right there. One of the things that I always say, the quote unquote karmic female, with all due respect, and to my fellow Leos, again, I myself am a Leo rising, is often a Leo or Cancer or combination. So they just told you right there that these karmic situations may arise from this kind of energy. All right. This oracle calls you to have the courage of your convictions, to have faith in yourself and your own process, to be fearless as you are assured of victory. Sekhmet will not be defeated. If you are concerned that you're biting off more than you can chew, or you're not sure, okay, this is the paranoia here. There's your concern that you're biting off more than you can chew. Or you're not sure about the path you're taking. If you're up to this quote unquote standard, or if you will ever again gain the recognition that you feel you deserve, then know that as you enter the temple of carnelian, into the fire belly of the lion-headed priestess, you shall be guided to success. Sekhmet comes alive with boldness. Her power grows with courage, and her fire will burn bright in your life as a passion, success, and victory. She says fortune favors the bold and guides you to take the leap that you know in your heart it is time for you to take. Trust that she will protect your love, heart, and vision, encouraging you to shine more brightly. This oracle also brings you a particular message about divine justice. If you are involved in or witnessing a situation that seems unjust, abusive, or concerning, and are worried that it's not right, the lion sister priestess tells you that it shall be resolved according to divine justice. Y'all know the justice was here too. And that there is nothing to fear. Pray to her in unconditional love for help, resolution, and trust. If you feel intuitively to act, then do so. Otherwise, allow her to have her way, as she has done and always will do. There is much more unfolding in life than we can possibly know consciously, and her ways are vast and many. Divine justice always prevails. This oracle is also a yes to any question that you have been asking. Any obstacle in the way of your manifestation. What did I say about Lord Ganesha? Knocking down the obstacles. Any obstacle in the way of your manifestation, of your desire, will be cleared away. Sometimes it is our own ego that is cleared. So don't worry if there are any bumps or a few bumps around the path. It's just part of the manifestation of desire. Sekhmet assures you that it will come to pass. In fact, the manifestation has already commenced. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this new moon reading. And it looks like it's going to be a good 2 weeks. Very positive, very forward moving. Namaste, angels.